Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me once again. I know you guys have already heard from other reputable YouTube creators that the interview of Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club that he had with Larry Elder, who is now running for president, and I really, really support him. I really like Larry Elder. I know you guys have already heard that Charlamagne the God, which I never could understand, why does he call himself that? I mean, whatever, man. You certainly not a god, lowercase or capital K, lowercase g, lower or capital H G. You not a god in any shape, form, way. Not even a demigod. But anyway, he interviews Larry Elder, and Larry Elder just dissects him, like literally dissects him down the middle and removes all of his internal organs, okay, and sets it on the table and say, "Here's your heart, your lung, everything, bro. I'm just gonna tear you up." And it was refreshing to hear. Like so many other YouTubers said, it was refreshing to hear. And I love to hear Larry Elders anyway. But look, because I can't give you guys a visible clip of this, I'm going to let you guys listen in on an audio clip of this from Breitbart News. If you haven't gotten the chance to hear it, I'm going to let you guys listen on the audio clip of this. So let's check this out.
Term a nigga wake up call? No. It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Oh, brother.
I'm just asking.
A nigga call.
You think you've ever
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware,
N-word.
Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
well, you just not talk about a nigger wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney. Because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a nigga wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black.
Absolutely.
And have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black? Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black men walking.
That's all I'm gonna let you guys listen into right there, because I don't want no copyright infringement or whatever like that. But yeah, that's he lit his end up. He talking about something. Well, this is what part got me though. He's talking about something. Well, I don't get upset with what he said, just like I didn't get upset with what you said. You know, and it's like, well, Larry Elder wasn't trying to get you upset, bro. He wasn't trying to get you upset. You may, after all those facts, all that factual data that Larry Elder gave him, and what does he do? He comes right out and says, "What's your N word?" I mean, the audacity of Charlamagne. I mean, the audacity of it. But see, that's the mentality that I want to say that a lot of black people have, that I have personally talked to when I deal with this kind of stuff. When I deal with the history of the Democratic Party. When I deal with black conservatives and why we think the way we think. It's usually the same kind of response, regardless of what kind of dates, names, and history that I give. Usually, I would say 9 times out of 10, depending on who these these individuals are, okay, depending on where they come from, they give me the same answer and the same response that Charlamagne, the so-called God, gives. In other words, they totally ignore everything that was just said. Forget about what you just said. my mind is going to go into what neurologists say goes into a cognitive dissonance, which simply means that the mind cannot hold two contradictory beliefs at the same time, which means that the mind, in order to deal with this contradictory information that's coming to it, because its information is so strong and makes the mind uncomfortable, the mind separates itself from that factual data. So basically the mind says, I'm not going to deal with this. It's factual and it's true, but it hurts too much. It's too much for me to take. So the mind separates itself from those factual elements. This is the same situation with Charlamagne the God, and it's the same situation with a lot of black people in America. You give them this factual data, you hit them with it, and they just ignore it right off the back. And this is what he did. He simply ignored everything that Larry Elder said. It's amazing to me how, and let me say this, man. This is the part that gets me. It's so weird because it's like black people who vote Democrat. Now he's telling me something, I'm not Democrat, whatever. Man, come on, cut it out. Just admit you're a Democrat. You voting Democrat, you've been voting for them all the time. Admit you're Democrat, man. Cut this mess out. Either you is or you ain't. Stop all that. I'm neither. I don't want to hear that. What kills me about blacks that vote for the Democratic Party, that vote for them so much, is the amount of brainwashing that they have submitted themselves to. Black people in America have been so brainwashed that they literally believe that black conservatives and the talking points, if you want to call it, that they give to blacks that vote Democrat are actually racist, and that the Democrats that they vote for all the time are not racist. Democrats can literally say things that are condescending and belittling to blacks, which is what the true definition of racism is. It's when you consider someone else inferior to yourself based on their racial ethnicity. That's the dictionary definition of racism. These Democrats can literally sit up and say these kind of things. White Democrats literally say these kind of things to black people. And because blacks are so brainwashed into accepting it, they literally think that that's cool. And that it's the perfect setup. It's a perfect mind control concept. And everything that black conservatives say is racist. A black conservative having their own mind and thinking their own way, that's racist. It's totally asinine. It's totally crazy. It baffles my mind, but then it doesn't baffle my mind. Because when a person is under a strong delusion, when a person has been brainwashed, when a person is in a trance state, it no longer shocks me. Charlamagne the God's response did not shock me at all. Knowing what I know about mind control, it didn't shock me at all. It didn't shock me at all because he's either one of the two. He's either under strong mind control from the mainstream media that he constantly watches, or someone's paying him to be an idiot. One of the two. Name something that he is. Put it in the comment box because them the only two alternative views or reasonings for his ignorance that I could come up with. Because for one to sit up here and invite someone like Larry Elder on your show. Now I don't know about the history of the Breakfast Club because I don't watch the Breakfast Club like that. But to invite somebody like Larry Elder on your show, you better be ready. You better be ready, which she was not. And that other woman that I'm pretty sure you guys saw, that other woman yicking and yakking and calling, and she you could tell she was upset. She was really angry and upset. All the factual data that Larry Elder was giving him, and she was upset. She like, I don't want to go into all of that. You guys can watch that for yourself if you haven't. But yeah, she was upset, and she tried to go off on Larry Elder, saying who's in control of the system. If white people is in control of the system, man, come on, man. Come on. It's black people that vote for these white Democrats that control the system. So, assuming that white people are in control of the system, which on that level they are, guess who keeps putting them there? You got it. Black people who vote at a 90% rate every 4 to 8 years. for Democrats. You keep voting for them, so of course they're going to be in control of the system. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But I'm glad he ripped Charlamagne the God up. I'm glad he ripped that woman up. I mean, yeah. I'm glad. That was hilarious, but at the same time, it was in his face. It was in his face. But yeah, I just wanted to give my opinion on it. I think he's under mind control. He's brainwashed. And this brainwashing and mind control is so strong that even in the face of actual facts and data, I mean, like clear, anyone could understand it. A baby coming out the mother's womb right off the bat, haven't even started eating yet, okay, could understand it. Could understand everything that Larry Elder said, and yet this guy, he still doesn't understand it. That's how a lot of blacks are. Their minds are so brainwashed that they literally believe that the Democrats are for them and conservatives. When I say conservatives, I don't say Republicans because, I mean, that's a whole other thing of itself because I don't agree with a lot of the things that the Republicans are doing. But, I mean, that ain't even race. But I don't want to get into all of that. I'm talking about conservatives, particularly, and black conservatives in particular. They're so brainwashed that they believe that the things that black conservatives are saying that are actually empowering black people, okay, they think that's racism. Perfect mind control concept. Perfect mind control concept. But if you want to be deprogrammed, you got to get into you got to unplug from the matrix that the Democratic Party, who own and control, or rather I'd say the liberals who are in sync with the Democratic Party, own and control the mainstream media. You got to unplug from that matrix. Come into the light, Carol Ann. Come into the light. So that's what I had to say about it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section. Don't like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.